Financial mistakes to avoid in your 20s. First and foremost is not building your credit. That's very important. I would say even if you're not good managing your money, I would say get a credit card, a student credit card, because that's when I ended up getting it, I think right after high school. I ended up getting my student credit card and it had like a $500 limit and I only ended up spending it on like gas or things that were like necessities, bills or anything like that. So I would say build your credit, start building your credit because the sooner the better. I would say most of your favorite stores have credit cards, so if you can somehow qualify to get one, I would say get one with a low limit so that you're not tempted to spend more than you earn, because that's also not good. I would say that kind of ties into the second tip, which is getting bad credit. The worst thing you could do for yourself is to get yourself into really bad debt and not pay it back. So don't do that. If you can't afford something, don't buy it. Simple as that. So it's the same thing for a credit card. I would say treat credit cards like cash. If you don't have it physically on you, then don't buy it. And now I'm at the point where I can manage my money and I pretty much use my credit card to pay everything so I could get points and get money back. But if you're not at that stage where you can manage your money, I just say use it when you need it. Only when you need it. And if you have the money in your bank account to pay it. Because if you don't want to get into debt. The third tip I could give is not negotiating the price on everything. This is a little tough, but I'm getting better at it as I age, because when I was younger, I would get so nervous to negotiate anything. I would just accept the price for everything, even with my car. I got my car right off the Mercedes lot, as is. And that's one of my biggest regrets. I wish I could have at least like hackled them a little bit to lower the price, or even got a used car. If I can, ideally, I would have gotten like a 1 or 2 year used car. Because what I spent on it is definitely not what it's worth. Definitely not. And I was so easily sold on all the premiums and the add-ons and the insurances and everything. Like, it was so dumb, and I spent so much money on that, which is definitely not worth it till this day. It's huge regret of mine, but you know what? I'm teaching you so you don't make the same mistake I did. So try to negotiate on the price. Everything that you're buying, of course, like you're not going to go to Starbucks and try to negotiate on a coffee. Like, let's be real. Let's negotiate on the things that are like reoccurring. I would say like a good thing to negotiate is like your phone bill, your cable bill, your TV provider. Like, those are great services to negotiate on. I currently do that for my internet bill in Mexico. That actually works over there too. I negotiated because my internet service wasn't as fast as I thought it should be, or that I was paying for. So they ended up lowering the price of my monthly bill, but that works for pretty much anybody. So just negotiate the prices on everything. Negotiate the price. Just negotiate. When in doubt, just ask, try. And if they say no, okay, well, you're already paying the original price anyway, so who cares, right? The fourth tip I have is not saving. Hopefully, if you're not in debt, if you are in debt, focus on the debt. Tackle that first, because that's first and foremost. And then once you start tackling the debt, save. Save. Pay yourself before you start buying other things. That's how I look at it. So every time I get my paycheck, I put some into a high yield savings account. I put like, I want to say like 20% of my every check that I get into that high yield savings account. And then I also put it into like stocks and all that, but that's another thing. But I would say saving. Pay yourself. Number 5 would be not diversifying my income early on in life. I think I was just dead set on you have your 9 to 5 and you're set. You're good to go. And I think it was until like I want to say my mid-20s that I really went ham on diversifying my income, and it's never too late. I do talk about my different sources of income in this video, so you can also check that out to get ideas, because sometimes it's just really hard to think of like what can I make money on. My 6th tip, invest in a Roth IRA. Contribute as much as you can to it every year, and if you're 18 years old watching this, then I would say get on it. This is the prime time. When you're like 18, 19 years old, prime time. Because by the time you hit 60, 65, when you plan to retire or whatever, you'll have like millions of dollars in that account that you could take out. The seventh tip would be not budgeting. See where your money is going, because easily it could just go everywhere. Checking your statements, seeing if you signed up for this trial that ended up now you've been charged like every month for it. Cancel it if you don't use it. Things like that. That keeps you ahead of the game. So monthly budgeting is my thing. Maybe you could do it every 2 months, quarterly. I wouldn't say half a year because that's a lot of months to be going without budgeting, but make it into your routine so that you can budget, because budgeting is very important. The eighth tip would be not learning about investing, even if it's something small like watching YouTube videos or reading a book, and investing, even if it's just a little, like $1 a month or something like that. I feel like the younger you are, the best outcome you would get from investing, but it's never too late. Better late than never. The ninth tip would be spending above your means. I kind of touched on that on the first couple tips, but definitely don't spend what you don't have. Point blank, period. Don't spend what you don't have. If you don't have enough money for that car, that bag, those shoes, that outfit, don't buy it. Don't buy it. If you can't buy it 10 times fold, then you cannot afford it. The last and final tip would be impulse buying. I now take my time when purchasing something. I definitely don't just, if I really want it, I just buy it on the spot. No, I did that with my car. Again, biggest regret. So don't impulse buy. Now I tend to think things through. I look if there's coupons, if there's deals. Sometimes if I'm really into buying something, I look for the best time to buy it. For example, if it's electronics, like I want to buy an iPad or a MacBook or a laptop, I know that they have deals for students or people who work like at teachers or anything like that. You get student discounts at Apple during like the back to school time, and they even throw in some free AirPods or something like that. So find the best time, or Black Friday if you can wait that long to get it. Of course, if you need it right away, buy it, but just look for those deals, because that's the best time to buy something. Don't just rush and buy it just because you want it at that very second. Before buying things, that I also do is I tend to think, I have this saying in my head, I consider, will this help me make more money, or will it make me happy? If it's one of those two and truly happy, I'm not saying like momentary happiness, because every new thing gives you that momentary happiness. If it truly will contribute to my overall happiness in the long term, which you will find out a lot of objects don't, then don't buy it. Don't buy it. At least for some time. Unless when you get the income where you're comfortable. When you're making them Kylie Jenner checks, then maybe you could just buy whatever you want. Girl, you shouldn't even be watching this video. If you have any tips, please leave them down below so we can all share the financial love. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Follow all my socials. I left them down below in the description bar. And that's it. I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.